So I was on YouTube today and I saw this video by a guy named Ron Paulk, and he has a woodworking channel on YouTube where he actually uses Sketchup quite a bit. So I was pretty interested in checking out some of his videos, but he posted this video where he was having trouble with dimensions in LayOut. And he was asking if anyone, knew a solution to the problems he was having. So he was having an issue where the extension lines were inconsistent in, how far they would extend past the dimension line. And he was also wondering how to set up defaults. That way he can configure the dimension tool a certain way, exactly how he likes it, and then be able to reuse those settings on future projects. So in this video, I'm going to answer those questions for Ron, and then also give you 4 different ways you can set defaults for your dimension tool in LayOut. Hey, I'm Matt from MasterSketchup.com, author of Sketchup to LayOut and co-author of Sketchup and LayOut for Architecture. So let's head into LayOut and see exactly what problem Ron was having. So with the dimension tool, if I create a dimension here, notice how with this dimension, this extension line is extending further than this one. And then if I create another dimension, now with this dimension, the extension lines are not extending past the dimension line. So to understand why this is happening, we need to dive into the anatomy of a dimension in LayOut. So if I just create a dimension here and then double click it, we can now see all of the different anchor points that are in the dimension. So these 2 points right here are the points that actually establish the distance that you're measuring. So if you drag these points around, you can see that the dimension is actually changing. Now, the cool thing about these dimensions is if you have auto scale turned on, it will infer what scale that viewport is set to, and it will set the dimension scale to match that as well. Now, if you jump off of a viewport, it'll default to a full-size 1-to-1, essentially paper space. So if you ever notice weird dimensions that aren't scaled correctly, it might be because you have an anchor point that's not pinned to the correct point in the model. Now these 2 points up here, they're kind of hard to see, but these points allow you to click and drag exactly where the dimension line is going to be. Now, the cool thing about the anchor points for the dimension line is that you don't actually have to be inside the dimension to change them. So from outside, you can actually just click and drag on the bounding box arrow to change the position of the dimension line without worrying about affecting, where the dimension is pinned or affecting any of these other anchor points. Now, if I jump back inside the dimension, these points right here are the root of the problem that Ron is experiencing. So these points right here represent the offset for the extension line. So you can click and drag these to set what distance you want the extension lines to start from. Now, the thing to realize is this distance is always relative to the anchor point. So if I move the anchor point, that extension line starting point is also going to change in order to remain the same distance away from the anchor point. Now, where that's important is when you are creating a dimension that is offset shorter than this distance. So if I delete this, let me jump out of there. If I delete this dimension and draw a new one, but if I don't go far enough to go past that distance where the extension line starts, see, now I've just gone past it. If I don't go past that point, these extension lines are going to be flipped. So if you draw a dimension like this, it's hard to see because the extension tail at the top is actually hidden. But if I move this away, you can see that the extension line is actually flipped around. So if I jump in here and move this up, see now it's flipped the correct way. So when you have a dimension like this that is being snapped to two points that aren't parallel to the dimension line, what can happen is you can have one side that is longer, depending on how you have this this tail configured. This can be longer. Let me just delete this here. And this one is shorter. And the reason is because the dimension wasn't anchored far enough to be past that offset that's configured in the dimension. So how do you prevent this from happening in the future? Well, you want to make sure that the distance of the starting point of the extension line and the anchor point of the dimension is smaller than the typical offset that you set your dimensions at. So I'm going to show you how to configure the dimension correctly, and then I'm going to show you how to save those settings. That way you can use it in the future. So let's check out this dimension right here, and we'll double click it. And I'm going to move this dimension up. That way the extension lines are oriented the correct way. Now, if we look at how Ron typically has his dimensions, we can see that there's no extension past the tick mark, and the extension line is relatively close to the anchor point of the dimension. So first, let's go ahead and we'll drag the extension offset to right there, and then we'll drag this one to match. So we'll just click and drag and then lock to that. And then we need to select this leg, go to the shape style, and we need to change the end arrow to this first selection here. And then we need to do the same thing over here. Now, in Ron's video, he actually knew how to correct the dimension to make it look this way, but he wasn't sure how to make these settings the default settings. That way he wouldn't have to do this every single time he adds dimensions to his layout file. All right, so the first way to configure a property for any tool really in layout is to first select the tool and then go over here and change whatever properties you want that tool to have. So whenever a tool is active, any properties that you change over here will be saved as the default for that tool. Now, the problem with dimensions specifically is that they're kind of complex. There are several properties that you can change globally with a dimension. So you can apply a single stroke to an entire dimension and all of the line elements will change. You can also change the start and end arrow, and that will affect the dimension globally. But if you want to change the look of the extension, you actually have to jump inside the dimension to do that. So you can't change the look of the extension lines by clicking on the dimension tool and configuring something over here. You actually have to jump inside the dimension itself. That way you can click on the individual extension element. So in order to get the look that Ron had in his original dimensions, we would play with the start arrow and end arrow. So the start arrow is going to be what occurs at this first point, and then the end arrow will be what occurs at this point here. So if I select the end arrow drop-down menu, and just a side note, some of these aren't displaying properly. There is a bug in layout with high resolution monitors, but we would select this last one here, and you can see how it extends the tail past the endpoint. And you can control how long that tail is by defining a point value here. So if we wanted it shorter, we'd select a smaller value. If we wanted it longer, we'd select a longer value. So you can also select a different start arrow if you wanted to, not that I'd recommend it. And then of course you can repeat the same process over here on this side by double clicking into the dimension and selecting this extension line as well. So I'm just going to undo that so we're back to what the style that we're trying to achieve. There we go. So in this case, when you have more specific configurations that you want to save to the tool, what you need to do is use the style sample tool. So you click this eyedropper here, you sample whatever element that you want to grab the properties of, and you can see the icon changes to a paint bucket. Now you can use this paint bucket to apply those settings to other similar elements, but you can also use the paint bucket tool to apply those settings to the tool directly. So if I click on the dimensions tool with this paint bucket, now any dimension I draw is going to have those same settings. So now if I go around, let me get rid of these here. So if I go around this model, now we can see that we can create all these dimensions without having to go back and fix them later. Now, another side note, when you're creating linear dimensions like this that are in a row, you can actually double click and LayOut will create a dimension line that matches the same offset as the previous dimension. So for down here, so when you change directions, you just need to do it the traditional way, single click, do your offset, but then you can just double click, and it'll keep all the dimension line offsets all aligned. Now, if you wanted to change this leader line end arrow, we would just double click till we get into the dimension. We'd select that entity, and so this is actually the start arrow, so we could pick it to be something different. And so if we sampled this element, now a regular dimension that doesn't have a leader line is still going to look this way, but if we were to drag this out, now you can see that the that starting arrow that we just configured is retained in that style, in those default styles for the dimension tool. So this is great for when you have a single dimension style that you like using throughout your entire layout file. But if you have multiple styles that you need to save, then you have to start thinking about using scrapbooks. Now, scrapbooks are a great way to save these types of things, different styles that you can sample. So what you would do is just create a new file, and I like to go to File, Document Setup. Sorry, this is off screen. And under Paper, I like to choose a small size because this is going to scale up in the scrapbook window. So you can see that when you're actually viewing scrapbooks, everything's kind of small. So if you use a small page size, that's going to just get scaled up, so it's easier to pick things. So let's say I have had this dimension, and I'm just going to make a global change here. So I have a thicker stroke here. So I wanted to save both of these as different dimension styles that I could pick from. So I'm just going to copy those. I'm going to go over to the new file I just created and paste those in. And from here, I'm just going to do Save as Scrapbook. Sorry, this is off screen again. So File, Save as Scrapbook, and call that Dimensions. Click OK. And now, if I go to the scrapbooks and click the drop-down menu, I can see the new scrapbook that I just created. So if I click on that, now I have these here to sample from. So if I'm using the dimension tool, I can just grab the eyedropper, sample that, apply it to the dimension tool, and create a dimension. If I wanted that other style that I have saved, I just sample that one, grab the dimension tool, and now I'm creating dimensions with that other style. And for everyone else, I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Again, I'm Matt from mastersketchup.com. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you'd like to check out some more of my SketchUp videos. And I'm on a weekly schedule now, so I'm going to be getting more videos your way every week. Thanks for watching.